We're doing the finale case, and I'm gonna do my best, cause I'm fucking sick today. I'm pretty sure this is the last case. This case has a 3-star difficulty. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this case.
Loading Hughes Matters feud.
I ain't gonna let no sickness stop me from solving crimes.
Good luck.
A father's will, the children's inheritance, a wake gone wrong. Can you figure out what happened? This is just one singular case again. This might be kind of like Bloodbath, just one really big, long case. Whoa. Balloons! North Carolina, May 16th? Oh. Well, we're off to a great start. We got the situation documents. Okay, let's look at our questions first. Figure out what we're trying to answer. Among the total money to be distributed to the children, how much percentage was each son supposed to receive? There's 4 sons. How many people were killed in the mansion? Depending on the number entered, please fill in the sets of names of both the victim and perpetrator in the following fields. Oh no, this is gonna get real complicated real fast, besties. Holy shit. We have audio files, butler questioning, and recording of eulogies. Ooh. Okay, so we do have text here. I bet the butler did it.
What
That's
was
how
the
it always
event
goes.
about?
We held a gathering to honor the late Gordon Hughes at his mansion. His 4 sons each gave a eulogy. Food and wine was served. Then his will was shown, revealed to his 4 children. If you wish to see them as evidence, we have provided the recorded audio tapes and a copy of the will.
Where were you at the time of the crime?
After all the guests left, I cleaned all the mess they had left behind. After that, I had to go run some errands. Here are the receipts of what I had to buy.
Do you have any suspicions of who did it?
I don't want to believe any of them did it. I've known them since they were so young. But I also know that it couldn't have been any of the guests, as I've personally watched them all leave before I started cleaning. Also, the sons were all in the house as I left.
Interesting. So Gordon Hughes was the dad, and all the guests left, and everything was still fine. That doesn't rule out potentially someone coming back, I suppose, but definitely the heavier suspicion is on the sons. Recording of the eulogies. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of eulogies. Oh dear. Okay. I guess let's start on these eulogies.
Welcome. We've gathered here today
Okay,
to
voice one
honor
is the butler.
the late Gordon Hughes. He was a dear friend and a dear father. We'll start our presentation of the eulogies with the successor of Gordon's company, Jonathan Reed. If you could stand up here.
Voice 2 is Jonathan.
Gordon was never just my boss. Over the time I was given to know him, he became one of my closest friends and the greatest teacher I've had. When I was young, I lived like trash. I was down on my luck and penniless. Gordon hired me, gave me a chance, and told me how to conduct myself. The position I have today is because of him, and there's nothing I can do to express the gratitude I feel. Gordon's own path was also similar, though with different starting points. He had to struggle to make his way to the top. Hard work, humility, and support. His virtues are what he told me to take to heart.
Interesting, each of these words is
I hope I can
capitalized.
embody these as I take up the flag that he left behind. I swear to make his legacy last. As the new CEO of the Hughes Property Group, I would like to extend an offer to Roman, Gordon's youngest son, to work as a manager for our company.
Oh, okay.
Roman, you are a rising star in the real estate world, and I'm sure that your father would want you to work with us. How about it?
Voice 3 is Jonathan.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But I'm quite proud
Roman.
of my current work, and I'd prefer not to take orders from anyone.
Oh, I see. I shall give you time to consider the offer. Now I believe that Ellis, Gordon's eldest, is next.
Okay, so it looks like in the list of questions, I guess the sons are listed from oldest to youngest. Because it listed Ellis first, he's the oldest. Roman last, he's the youngest.
Thank you, Jonathan. I wouldn't have minded taking that managerial spot you have, by the way. Yeah. Anyhow, you may already know me. I'm a former collegiate rugby player. St. Valentine University, represent! The MVP awards and state rings I won, the successes I had, were because of my pops, Gordon Hughes. As a kid, he was always there, encouraging me to chase my dreams, to chase the ball.
We're not even halfway done yet.
Even if he's no longer with us in person, I will make sure to carry on his legacy and ensure our family's success. Thank you. Oh, Roger, you're up.
I don't know what's going to be useful. I'm just writing down a bunch of notes for each character, like how
Hello,
Ellis went to St. Valentine University.
and thank you all for coming today. I just want to share some of my precious memories with my father. Back when he was still alive, he would often take Glenn and I out to hunt with him. We'd have loaded up the truck with our food, tents, and the guns. It was an experience.
He's sadder than
We
anyone
were
else
still
so
young
far.
back then, but I remember the first time he... Sorry, it's just a little difficult. I remember that time we went...
He can't even talk, he's so choked up.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you.
Sorry about that. It's been rough for all of us, I'm sure. I will continue Roger's testimony on his behalf. Our father would often take Roger and I hunting. Of course, we never caught anything until we grew a little older. Father was always there, showing us how to do things right. Often, we would have to only load the truck up with his prices, but in time, we'd add to that pile. I remember Roger's first kill. He started crying. Yes, you did. Not because you were happy that you'd finally succeeded, but because you felt bad for the deer
Interesting he only took 2 of his sons
when
hunting.
you got up to it. Our father would then teach us the importance of each individual life. That deer would live on with us, and later within us. These life experiences he gave us led us to where we are today. Roger is now a successful chef.
Okay.
I, on the other hand, am a lawyer for the state. After Mom passed away, Dad resolved himself to give us as much support as he could. This wasn't just in our respective businesses, but in our lives and our own growing families. I think it really shows. Wherever you are now, Dad, thank you. God bless.
Okay, so then this is Roman coming back.
Thank you, Glenn. My father was a very successful man, like Jonathan said. Our grandfather's company was in the gutters when he got the position. What he accomplished with it was awe-inspiring. Like him, I decided to start with nothing as well. I wanted to climb the ladder with my own grit and sacrifice. I think Father appreciated that someone tried to do without. He was correct to put his faith in me. Roman Estate Co. is as successful as Hughes Property Group. Founding it was an endeavor, and to keep it running has been arduous. It's been like childbirth, something I thought only my wife would experience. Jonathan, as an aside, I believe that it's in my best interest to continue the great legacy that my father created, to continue his business modus operandi. I will buy out Hughes Property Group entirely. I'm sure I can find you a position as well. And that is all I have to say. Felix,
Ooh.
back to you.
Felix is the butler.
Thank you, Roman. Next, we have Gordon's closest friends, starting with Mr. William Darby.
So we don't hear from William Darby. I don't know if that's an important name, but I'm writing it down anyways. Okay, so Roman, who is the youngest, wanted to buy out the real estate company that his father owned, but Jonathan is now the CEO of. Okay, well, that's our two recordings. So I think that at least gives us a gist of who everyone is, at least. Now we got some other things we need to figure out. Ooh, this door's cracked open. A safe? A gun just chilling out here with ammunition open. Cool. Cool. That's not suspicious at all. Okay, we'll start looking at stuff more in detail in just a second. I just want to have a bit of a lay of the land, see what we can and can't look at. Ooh. Oh, there's a bullet casing. The 9mm Wilder again! Oh my god, I am begging people, buy different types of guns, please. There's an upstairs. Holy shit ass, there's an upstairs. Ooh. Oh. Some sort of scuffle was going on up here. Ooh, oh. Okay. We have our first body outlined. Someone had a cell phone? We'll look at that in a bit. This statue's knocked over. There was some type of something going on here. So, there's only been the one body outline. So, if that's the case, is it just one person was murdered in the mansion? Unless there's somewhere else we can go that I haven't found yet, which so far doesn't seem to be the case. I think I've at least stepped into every room that is accessible to us. Definitely looks like something happened here, but there's no body outline. It looks like maybe they got out the door, but I guess then that would mean only one person was murdered in the mansion? Perhaps? At least so far. To be determined. Ooh, these little pouches here. To Samuel Hughes. Samuel Hughes? Who's Samuel Hughes? It's to Harmony Hughes. Okay. Are these like gift bags or something? Are gift bags a thing people do at funerals? I don't fucking know. If these are meant to be like gift bag type things, my first thought is these were left here because the people didn't show up, maybe? Let me check something. Yeah, the deceased's name is Gordon Hughes. So these two people here who may or may not have shown up, they're related somehow, I suppose. Okay, we have post-it notes over here. Keep Roger from drinking too much. Okay, Roger is the second oldest son. Damien Goodman, James Goodman's son, is allergic to strawberries. Make sure he doesn't get any. Philip Braxton has slight lactose intolerance. I'm not going to remember all these names. Evelyn Fletcher, Joshua Fletcher's mother, has early onset dementia. Alert Joshua in case anything happens. Roman's son is allergic to nuts. Remember William Riverside. All right, now we've got someone's phone. Oh, we gotta write down more phone numbers, don't we? Oh, boy. Oh. So this phone number is Felix's, the 1492, and today is the 16th. Hey, Felix, I'll be back at 2. Got some things to do. I'll see you then. So whoever this phone owner is, they left at 11:15, came back at 2. Okay. Did you hear that shit? Man, I'm sick of his attitude. So the plan is still in action, right? All 3 of us agree that he needs to be put in his place right now. Place, right? Know why I'm stopping now? I can already imagine the look on his face when I pull up the dirt on him. Can't believe we're doing this. You know my son looks up to you. I would too, just make sure my kids are not around. If this is one of the sons, the only one that we know for sure has a kid is Roman. So maybe the 4302 number is Roman? Possibly. But it seems like 3 of the brothers are planning to put the 4th brother, whoever that is, in his place. There's some type of scheme going on and they had dirt on him. Ooh, and this conversation was deleted. There was a phone upstairs next to the dead body. Eek. Okay. Okay, so this is a message, again from Felix, asking whoever the phone owner is to have their speech prepared. Let's talk about it. Busy right now. It's urgent. Fine. Meet me outside in 5 minutes. I'm taking a call right now. So it seems like around sometime after 5 is when things started going down. We have this 8891 number. Haven't seen that before. Don't know who that is. And then another conversation that's deleted. Okay. Also, whoever died here, there's no blood. So that makes me think maybe possibly one of the allergies or some kind of something mentioned came into play. Kind of like how the bloodbath case, you know, one of the people died of a heart attack just spontaneously. This pillow got knocked off. What happened here? There's like some weird mark on the floor. I have no idea. Not a clue what happened there. Oh, and also something going on there. This got knocked over. What the hell happened in here? Can we have a look around here? There's some luggage here. Papers. Okay. The Ottoman, straight bet, max payout. Someone gambling, I suppose, in April. All right. Someone may be having money or gambling issues. Again, goddamn, y'all quit it. Ooh, keys? Who had the keys? Someone was really jingly with keys in the eulogy recordings. That was Ellis. They specifically said his keys were rattling loudly. So I guess this is where Ellis was staying? Oh, hello, son. Oh my goodness. It doesn't look like we can have a peek at anything else. Literally just the keys, which I assume they're kinda... Oh. One golf club just hanging out against the door frame. Okay. That's fine, maybe. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know if this house is just kind of like worn down or something. Like, obviously there was something going on here. Like, this vase got knocked over. That looks like maybe it was kind of like an impact spot. Something happened recently. Someone got shoved into there, maybe knocked off the vase. But, like, that spot on the floor there, and then a couple spots on the wall. I don't know if that's just, like, age on the house? Possibly. I'm not certain. And then some sort of bloody thing happened here, but the person maybe dragged themselves outside, which we can't get to. Ooh. Briefcase. Oh dear. Okay. Meet with the district attorney. I'm told that he want to charge the Holt kid, even though he's a minor. Tell him he's not likely to move forward. Dad left sniper at the log cabin. Retrieve it. Make sure to drive down next week and return it to him. District attorney appointed me as the prosecutor. Which one was the lawyer? Who was the lawyer? Glenn, the second youngest, is the son. That's the lawyer. So this is his briefcase, I assume. Okay. Dad died, canceled this week. Call Valerie when home. Won't be good to see Ruby. Don't know who Ruby is. Maybe he is his kid. Pick up Ruby at 6 p.m. She stays till the 8th. So some kind of custody arrangement, maybe. Call Felix for update. Oh, he had to cancel the week with his kid. Just clear out next week, too. I'll bring Ruby back to Valerie by 8 p.m. Okay, so I guess Valerie is the ex-wife. Ruby might be his kid. Well, that's a little sad. He had to clear out his whole week to deal with all this. Vermin defense? Call me. Need someone to supervise a business contract. Okay. Cough drops. And a necklace. I'll miss you, Dad. Oh, that's cute. And then we still have this bullet casing. So maybe someone was standing here, fired at the person at the front door, possibly? I mean, this is a whole lot of blood to be lost just to get shot. And still, they made it out the door. There's no other bullet holes stuck in the wall that I can see. No other bullet casings. So, might have just been a singular shot. Is the ammunition in here the 9mm Wilder? It looks like 9mm. Yeah, it kind of looks the same. I can't pick any of that up, unfortunately. But who were the two kids that went hunting? The two youngest? It was Roger and Glenn. Okay. Roger and Glenn went hunting. So I assume that they knew how to use firearms. What is this? Ooh, here we go. Last will and testament of Gordon Hughes. I, Gordon Hughes, being of sound mind, not under personal representative, I nominate and appoint Felix White, that's the butler, as personal representative of my estate. If my personal representative fails or ceases to serve, then I nominate William Brandon Darby. Okay. Bequeath my property, both real and personal, wherever situated as follows. Any charities as chosen by Felix White with 5%. Felix, as my close friend and butler, gets 5%. Ellis gets 17%. Roger gets 16, excuse me. Glenn gets 14. Roman gets 13. And then Jonathan becomes CEO of the real estate company. So that's our answer to the first question. Stand will supervise. These notes being rendered carried out in my will. I hope to know that I have had a long life, and I wish that in the next life I shall be reunited with my wife. Oh, I hope the best to my son and my grandchildren. Okay. Oh, wait. I've hired a third party, Stanton Law, to supervise an additional layer to my distribution of the final 40% of the remainder 90% of my wealth. They have been provided with a document that would break down attributes that I valued. These attributes are based on relationship status, being single or married or divorced or looking, etc. Oh no, are we gonna have to do math? No! Damn it! I'm an English major and I'm half gay. I can't do math! Additionally, these attributes are based on employment status, being unemployed, full-time, CEO, manager, etc. Son-in-law will supervise this final distribution and have a fuller list of desired traits. My friend and servant, Felix Daniel White, will provide additional feedback to Stanton-in-law in their analysis of each of my 4 children. These attributes, when analyzed and understood, will provide an additional 15 or 10% or 10% or 5% of my final 40% of the... Okay. So they could have gotten a bonus on top of what they were expected to be given based on how they're doing in life, basically. So the amounts listed here is like a base. And then potentially get shit added on top of that. Oh my god. Fuck. Okay, well... Dang it, we're gonna have to do math. Oh. Dear Felix, by the time you are reading this, I will have passed on. This letter is an additional note to the will I have left behind. I've hired Stanton Law to be an intermediary and supervise the distribution of the remainder of my wealth. This letter is to justify the thought process of what is to follow. Each son will receive points based on their employment status and the condition of their marriage or relationship. If they're unemployed, they will be given a negative point to their overall amount. This is because I don't tolerate laziness. If they have any job in general, they receive 1 point. If they have a government job, they receive an additional 1 point. A middle management position gets an additional point. If they're in a C-suite position or higher, they may receive 2 points of their overall amount. Fuck. Marriage was sacred to me as it was to their mother. If they are single, they do not receive or subtract any points. If they are divorced, they have a single point taken from them. If they are married, they gain 1 point. If they've provided the family with even one single male heir, they gain an additional point. Whoever shall have the highest amount of points will receive 15% addition. Whoever has the second amount of points will receive an additional 10%. Third place will receive the same. Final score shall receive 5%. I know this may seem an odd request, but my children understood my values as they were raised up. I'm proud of each one, but I always like to reward them allowance based on chores they did. This is their final allowance. I know that you will follow my instructions without questions if you always have, however. I want you to know that with my death, your contract has come to an end. You're no longer required to work for the Hughes family, and I want to make sure that you feel no obligation. You are about the age of retirement, and I wish that you can live the rest of your life with your wife in peace. Therefore, I hope you carry out my last wishes not as my brother, but as my good friend. Okay. So we're gonna have a fucking point system here. Glenn gets minus 1 point for a divorce. Roman gets plus 1 point for having a son. If they have any job in general, they receive 1 point. Roger is a chef. So I think that's plus 1 point to Roger. If they're in a C-suite position or higher, they may receive 2 points. Roman owns his own company, so I think that's plus 2 points. So Roman would have, I think, 3 additional points for his job. There's 1 point just for having a job, an additional 2 for having a high-paying position. Oh my god, this is all so confusing. Too many numbers. Too many numbers for my half-gay brain. We don't know if Ellis has a job. He went to school, which he talked about, but I don't think he said anything about having any sort of career. So that might be a negative point. Wouldn't have minded taking that managerial spot you have, by the way. So I guess that's kind of meant to imply he doesn't have a job. The successes I had were because of my pops. Yeah. Okay. So I guess maybe that's meant to imply that Ellis doesn't actually have a job right now, so that would be a negative point. The Roman's son is allergic to nuts. That still doesn't tell us what his marital status is. I guess maybe we can assume that Roman is married if he has a son. It's kind of a grand assumption, but yeah. So, let's see. Something happened here. Blood splatters this direction. Start going this way. There's another pool of blood here with some type of brownish looking stains. But it looks like... Is this another pool of blood? Maybe. It looks brownish. Reddish, maybe. Like, whoever was, I guess, shot here based on the bullet case over there. Like, you can see the drag marks go over this. So that's kind of what had me thinking maybe it's a pool of blood. Like a secondary pool of blood, maybe. I don't know. There's no blood anywhere on the door. Oh, this is difficult. St. Reese, okay. Oh! Oh! Oh yeah! This is Ellis's class ring. So that does confirm he was staying here. Okay, yep. St. Valentine University. And a postcard. A warm welcome from Miller's Creek. How did I not see this before? Daniela Stren. Hey, hun, I'm almost heading out. Can't believe my old man is actually gone. Don't want to be too sobby in this, but man, this hits me hard. On the bright side, I'll be rolling in the dough. Maybe we can finally settle down, just the two of us. I'll be in town for about 2 weeks, and this time I won't have to worry about having to constantly look for a job. So that's confirmation Ellis has no job. These guys don't know what they're missing out on. So this is to his girlfriend? I don't think being in a relationship gets any points, only if they're married. I think so far, Ellis just has a negative point. So, based on the numbers we have so far, it looks like Ellis is in last place for that whole point standing thing. So, the oldest son is in last place. Roman, he has a son, he has a job, a high-paying position, and he's potentially married. He's up top, for certain. The youngest son is up top, oldest son is on the bottom, I guess. Wait, if they have any government job? Glenn says, I'm a lawyer for the state. Does that count as a government job? Does Glenn get an extra point for that? He has a job. And then it said in the letter, point for a job, extra point for a government job, and then 2 extra points if they have a C-suite position or higher. Maybe Glenn gets an extra point for that. Okay, so based on what we know of everybody, it kind of seems like a bit of a landslide. Roman, the youngest, would have the most points. So he would take the top spot and earn an additional 15%. Glenn and Roger would be kind of in the middle ground. So they would each get 10%. And then Ellis, he's not doing so hot. He doesn't have a job. He has a negative score. So he is in last place. He gets 5 additional percent. Yeah, we'll provide an additional 15, 10, 10, and then 5. So then, if I'm correct, and my math also adds up, so hopefully I can do basic addition, this will leave with Ellis at 22%, Roger at 26%, Glenn with 24%, and Roman with 28%. So it seems likely that Ellis may have been pissed off because being the oldest, like just going by these numbers here, you know, it seems like he would get the most, but then factoring in the point system, he ends up actually getting the least out of all the brothers. So then, hold on, let me go back to those phone conversations. Did you hear that shit? Man, I'm sick of his attitude. All 3 of us, he needs to be put in his place. Are they talking about Roman? I can already imagine the look on his face when I pull up the dirt on him. Can't believe we're going to do this. You know my son looks up to you. I would too. But wait, I thought this was Roman. Oh, I'm so confused. But my first thought is that Ellis would then be pissed off because he's then getting the smallest cut. And then he would maybe take it out on Roman, who was supposed to get the smallest out of the 4 sons. But then now, because of how he's been doing in life, he gets the biggest. And apparently they've got some dirt on him. I don't know. I kind of want to answer the questions that we have, at least that I think we figured out. I want to try to answer the percentage question just to see if I'm correct on this. And if not, we'll go back and adjust. So Ellis is getting 22%. Roger is getting 26. Glenn is 24. And Roman is 28. We'll submit that. See if that's correct. Ooh. 1 out of 3 questions answer correctly. So we are correct on this question. Other 2 questions to be determined. So we at least for certain have all the percentages correct. We can put that away out of our mind right now, fortunately. I'm still kind of leaning towards maybe this phone is Ellis's. Possibly. Also, if he's, you know, kind of jock type guy, his typing style is not very intelligent, I suppose is the word. I don't know. I'm not trying to stereotype, but this kind of seems to be my biggest lead in that direction, that the phone owner for this phone might be Ellis, because he would probably be pretty upset that he learns he's getting the least amount of money out of the 4 brothers. I can't believe we're doing this. You know my son looks up to you. I would too. I kind of... That does sound pretty cocky. Ellis seems like kind of a cocky guy. So maybe we can sort of assume that this phone belongs to Ellis. Also something, he's probably extra pissed he didn't get more money if he's been gambling. Like, these are high amounts. These are high amounts he's betting. And if he loses like 2 out of the 3 times, he's probably losing a good chunk of change. So he probably doesn't have... Like, he was really kind of banking on, it seems like, getting the most of his dad's inheritance. And that's kind of how it comes off, like he's telling his girlfriend, on the bright side, I'll be rolling in the dough. Maybe we can finally settle down, just the 2 of us. And also in the audio calls, like, he says it hit him pretty hard. But in the eulogy recordings, it kind of... like, he comes off as very lively. He even laughs. Meanwhile, everyone else is pretty choked up, I think. The other sons seem to be taking the death pretty hard. I'm trying to figure out here, because this is a lot of blood. Like, just the fact with all this splatter as well. Like, maybe... Wait, okay. Maybe someone did die here. Like, because my original thinking was someone lost all this blood, like, instantaneously and they somehow got out. But what if the body was just, like, chilling here for a bit, whoever this was died, and then they got dragged out after death, maybe? Somebody could have moved the body. So maybe that's 2 people who died in the mansion. Because then we also have this body up here, which clearly there's some type of struggle. I don't know what's going on here. There's no blood. Maybe this person has their arms up. And in the bloodbath case, the position of arms was important. Maybe this person got strangled. Possibly. Let's change this answer. Let's see if there's 2. Okay. 2 people did die in the mansion. So now we know for certain 2 people died in the mansion. We just need to figure out who killed who. I'm still a little bit perplexed by this struggle scene here. Because I mean, there's no blood. I would kind of have to guess that whoever killed this person strangled them, maybe. We don't know whose phone this is, do we? I don't think we do. What do you want from me? Let's talk. I'm a bit busy right now. It's urgent. Meet me outside in 5 minutes. I'm taking a call right now. So if this phone is Ellis's, who's texting Felix here. I'm not confident this is Roman anymore. Can't believe we're doing this. You know my son looks up to you. Just make sure my kids are not around. I mean, it still could be. But I don't know. Maybe it is Roman. Maybe it isn't. Keep Roger from drinking too much. But for why? Did Roger start something? Maybe he had a little too much to drink. Someone wasn't keeping an eye on him. Maybe he has an alcohol problem. Also, according to the audio file, everything was fine when he left. All the guests were gone. Assuming no one came back, then it had to have been the sons. So 2 of the sons didn't make it out. And then the other 2 kind of, I guess, were the murderers. Although I guess that doesn't mean, like, son 1 killed son 2 and then son 3 killed son 4. It could be like son 1 killed son 2, but then son 3 or 4 killed son 1. Oh, Jesus, this is a whole lot of a mess. If there was some type of struggle here, someone clearly got overpowered, I guess, whoever this was. Ellis is the athletic one. So maybe he did kill somebody, but just not Roman? So this conversation, if we assume that on Ellis's phone downstairs, if we assume that is his phone, the person he was talking to being Roman, like as some type of collaborator, whatever, then this conversation here would have to be between the 2 other brothers, Glenn and Roger. But we don't know which one was who. Let's talk. It's urgent. If I meet me outside in 5 minutes, I'm taking a call right now. Hold on. Maybe, I mean, he had a lot of calls to make. Maybe, possibly, I don't know for certain, but maybe we can assume the person saying they're taking a call is Glenn, which would make the phone owner Roger? And then I guess kind of like based on the positioning, maybe, was this Roger on the ground? What do we know about Roger? He got very choked up in his eulogy. He was previously hunting with his dad along with Glenn. He's a successful chef. We don't really know a whole lot else about him. But again, that's kind of on the assumption that the phone conversation with Ellis, if this is the phone owner, man, I'm sick of his attitude. The plan's still in action. What did Roger say? What did Roger say in his eulogy? Like, who here has an attitude? I would assume Roman, if I'm being honest. The fact that it specifies boots shuffling in certain parts and then shoes in other parts. Like shoes shuffle, but then boots shuffle. Who has the boots? That's Roman. Is that important somehow? We haven't found any footprints anywhere. I don't think. Still don't know what these brown stains are. Wait, so then... if this is Roman, which again, big if, that means the kids were still around. If these little pouches here were meant for the kids were still here, Roman was still here. Is it possible that one of the brothers wasn't here, and then maybe we'd be able to rule them out? We know Ellis was here, he had his phone, then Roger, if that was his phone, kind of upstairs based on process of elimination, maybe, I suppose. Yeah, based on these messages, all 4 brothers would be here. Like, if this is Glenn, again, very big if, on just blanket if on everything. If this is Glenn, if this is Roger's phone, then downstairs, Ellis's phone was still here, and he was texting Roman, and if that was him and his kids were still here. Who else has kids? We know Glenn has a daughter. He doesn't have a son. We don't know much about Roger. There's no mention of him having a family or anything. Maybe this is the part Ellis was talking about, potentially. Like, sick of his attitude or whatever. Maybe he was bitter because he wasn't successful like his brothers. Ooh, that's interesting. Give us our respective businesses, but in our lives, our own growing families. I think it really shows. Wherever you are, Dad, now thank you, God bless. Possibly. Okay. So, okay, let's see. We still don't know for certain whose phone this is. I feel like maybe I'm wrong about the person who was just saying they had to take a call. But maybe... Wait, Glenn's briefcase is still here. That's right. Wait. So, Ellis is definitely still here because his phone is here. Roman's still here because his kids are still here. Glenn is still here because his briefcase is here. Is there anything that indicates that Roger is still here? I don't know if the fact that he's saying he's taking a call is even important. This game has a habit of putting in these little details that I feel like are going to be real super important, but it ends up being a whole lot of nothing. And if this text conversation was happening during the eulogies, did you hear that shit? Man, I'm sick of his attitude. The only brothers he could be saying that about would either be Roman or Glenn. Because... which one was it? Was it Roger? I think Roger was the one that got all choked up and could barely even say anything. I don't think it would be a stretch to say that Samuel and Harmony might be Roman's kids. I don't think that's that big of a stretch. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh! No, Roman wasn't... I said something before about Roman being one of the kids who went hunting. No, it was the 2 middle sons. It was Roger and Glenn who went hunting with Dad. Oh, that's right. Okay, so Roger and Glenn would have the experience with the firearms. Okay. I think I have a train of thought going. Hopefully it doesn't derail before I get to the destination. This is Ellis's phone. And he was collaborating with who I think is Roman to confront someone who was talking at the eulogy. Roger didn't say a whole lot, so by process of elimination, that would be Glenn. Ellis was pissed at Glenn because reasons, I'm not 100% sure why, says he's sick of his attitude. I don't think what he said at the eulogy was all that bad, but it can't be Roman. I feel like he would be pissed at Roman more than anything else because he's like, no, I don't want that job. I don't want to take orders from anybody. That was kind of my first thought process. But it seems potentially, and then especially with going up here to this crime scene, there's a struggle. Someone would have had to physically overpower another person enough to murder them. Ellis killed Glenn? Question mark? So then, I suppose that would make this Glenn's phone. And then, based on... we got a gunshot here. Oh, let's go in here. Yeah, they might have been, like, getting a gun. I don't think this is the gun. It's not letting us pick it up or look at it or really pick up anything. Maybe one of the brothers... Who is it? It would have been Roger. Yeah, because Roger, if Glenn was dead, Roger was the only remaining brother with experience in firearms. Maybe he killed Ellis? Because Ellis killed Glenn? Oh, that feels very shaky. But it kind of makes sense, maybe. I am not confident about this at all. But, I mean, knowing everything we know, it seems like a possibility. We'll try putting in these answers, and then if it doesn't work, we'll come back and we'll reassess. So name of victim would be Glenn, was killed by Ellis, and then Ellis was killed by Roger. I guess maybe that makes sense. Like, because also in this conversation over here, this conversation, Roman says he doesn't want his kids to be around. Can't believe we're going to do this. You know my son looks up to you. I mean, it sounds like he was involved, kind of, but maybe he also, you know, kind of got his kids away. Maybe Roman left. Possibly, but the bags are still here, so I'm not entirely certain about that. Anyway, let's try this. See if it works. I'm not confident. Oh. Oh. Who was the father's favorite son? This is the question where we... Oh my gosh, so that is what happened. We got it right. Who is the father's favorite son? I mean, I guess maybe Roman. If I had to guess. Based solely on the point thing. A question mark. Hold on, a question mark, question mark, question mark. On May 16th, 2003, at 1 p.m., a gathering was held to honor the death of Gordon Hughes. Friends and family of the late Gordon came together to pay their respects and share heartfelt eulogies. After the gathering concluded, the guests departed, and Felix left to attend to some errands. The only individuals remaining were Gordon's 4 sons. Ellis proceeded with his plan to blackmail Roman. What? Blackmail Roman? Roger and Glenn were also in on the plan, although with varying degrees of hesitation. They all agreed that Roman's comments were out of hand and disrespectful to their father's legacy. Oh, that does make sense. That's what I was thinking before, because Roman said he wanted to buy out his father's real estate company that the other guy was now CEO of. Of the two, Roger was more willing to follow Ellis as long as his own 2 children weren't around to see the conflict. Those were Roger's kids? What? On the other hand, Glenn, after contemplating the consequences of their actions, warned Roman about the impending scheme, prompting Roman to leave the premises. I was all wrong. Somehow I still stumbled onto the correct answer, but my train of thought getting there took a whole other direction. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Glenn, after contemplating the consequences, warned Roman about the impending scheme, and so Roman left. Upon discovering Glenn's betrayal, Ellis confronted him, leading to a heated argument that escalated into a physical altercation. Losing control, Ellis pursued Glenn upstairs, causing damage to the walls and furniture, eventually ending Glenn's life with his own hands. Overhearing the commotion, Roger retrieved a gun from the hunting closet, fearing the worst, and confronted Ellis when he returned downstairs. After Ellis confessed to what had happened, Roger reached a state of emotional distress now that Glenn His brother and close friend was killed. That's right, because Roger and Glenn were the closest, too, of all the brothers. With a steady arm, he shot one bullet straight into Ellis's head, ending his life instantly. Realizing what he had done, Roger panicked, dragging Ellis's heavy body outside before fleeing the scene. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I was so wrong on my path to get there. It was really kind of like I had the pieces of the puzzle, but instead of putting them together correctly, I kind of like smashed them together in place in a way that I wanted them to fit. That kind of feels like what happened. But hey, we still got everything right! Hell yeah!